Hi everyone. In our previous class, we have started one story, that is the Rattrap, and here we have seen that through the metaphor of the red trap, here the storyteller, the writer, very beautifully brings a very important issue in front of us, and that is that all the human beings throughout this planet are trapped in one and another bat. Bat, BAIT, bat means a kind of greed, and bat is, we can find a bat in a rat trap. As soon as the rat trap, as soon as a rat just click on, jumps on that bed, he's trapped in that bed forever, in that red trap forever and ever. So here the writer wants to convey a message. It, the bed might be anything. It might be an ambition, it might be a greed, it might be a passion, it might be a desire. So bet might be anything, and once you jump on that bet, you are trapped for that, in the trap forever and ever. Here the writer wants to convey the message that from the childhood to the death, human beings are trapped in this world. They cannot shake off, they cannot break the chains, they cannot break the chains of the wall of this red trap. Means our desires, our wishes, our patience, they are never ending, our demands are never ending, especially our greed is never ending. Here basically wants to convey the message that we have one greed or another in any form, and we cannot break that. We are never ever free from a greed, and that is a kind of bad, and we are in this trap from the very childhood to the end of our life. So simply the message is that we should be happy with whatever we have. We should not be greedy, we should not be much more possessive, and we should always keep our emotions under control. So this is all, and here we see that the story opens with a peddler. He used to sell the red traps, he used to roam around, there was no regular source of income. He used to make the red traps, he used to sell them, and somehow he had to manage his life, he had to run his life, and even the money which he used to get by selling the red traps, it was not sufficient. That's why he has had to get into some thievery here and there. And suddenly one day the idea came, the second phase came. When the idea came, the idea struck to his mind that the whole world and he himself is in a trap. And then what happens, that thinking that, he found himself in front of Kafta's house, which he already explained you, and there stole money, and now we'll go further, we'll see further that to escape from the policemen, from the cops, he got into a dense forest, and here he sees that he again is in a trap, and it is very difficult. And further we will see that he roamed around that dense forest, there was no way out, he was not knowing where to go. Means those 30 kronas became a trap for him. Now neither he can't use them, nor he cannot be in the world so that he can spend them. So he was in a problem. Though he stole the money, he had the money, but he cannot spend, because he was under fear that if he walks on the road, the main highway, then he will be caught, he will be behind the bars. That's why he took the route of the dense forest, and instead of enjoying those 30 kronas, he became very miserable. He from the morning, he started his journey in the morning till evening, till night. There was no way out. He could not come out of that forest. There was no way out from where to go, and what to do. And hungry and thirsty, very tired and exhausted, he was just making round and round of that dense forest, but there was no way out. Finally, he dropped down himself. He lied down, and suddenly there was a spark in his eyes, and he saw a light spark from the very far away, and he was sure that there must be some house, there must be someone who can help him out. And the night was wintry, it was damn cold. That's why he wanted a fire and food both, so that he can warm himself, he can he can escape that cold, that extreme cold. And he just started his journey, he started walking towards that light, that spark, and he landed himself in a iron works, an iron factory now. And what happens there, the people did not notice him, and they thought that he must be a vagabond. And there were two three people, those who were working. One was the iron man, who was working over there. He did not notice. He thought that he must be a vagabond and he has come to comfort himself, he is going. And he just permitted, when he sought permission, that if he was allowed to stay there for a night, that iron the worker who was working there, he just permitted him it by nodding. And after some time, the iron master, the owner of that mill, that factory, came over there, and he took him to be his comrade. And because his face was covered with the cap and it was dark, so he thought that he must be some old acquaintance. And he just invited him to his home, but he said no, because he did not want to be snared again, he did not want to get trapped again. And then the iron master sent his daughter Idla to pursue him, that by chance he met one of his comrade, his old acquaintance. And now this is the Christmas time, so he wanted to confirm him, comfort him, and that's why he sent his daughter Idla. And he was persuasive, and he just got an invitation, he accepted an invitation, and he went to the manor of the iron master. And next morning, when it was daylight, he was exposed. And when the iron master and the daughter, when they went to the church, it was already announced that somebody has stole the money. And the iron master was sure that it was definitely that person who was in the house. He was not the old comrade, it was a vagabond, and he must have steal that money. But he threatened, the iron master threatened, that you hidden yourself, and you did not reveal yourself, and you are not my comrade. But he said that it is not me who came to your house, it was not my mistake, you mistook me as a comrade, you invited me, and that's why I came to a place. And but Idla was feeling very compassionate, and she was very kind. And Idla said that first time somebody came to our place for a long time, it is Christmas time, we should be merciful, we should be kind to this fellow. And just because of that, the iron master was agree to keep him, and they just served him with best food and clothing and etc. Next day when he went, the peddler dropped one Rattrap. Inside was 30 kronas and a letter to Idla Williamson, for being so nice, that because of her goodness and kindness, his life ever and ever changed. So we can see we can win the badness, the evil by our good deeds, by good work, by helping someone, we can change somebody's life. We can connect it with the bishop's candlesticks, which you must have read in 10th standard. So here we find the same notion that the by the help and by the kindness and by welcoming and providing uh, support and food to the family, to the peddler, changed his life forever, and he accepted his mistake and crime, and he dropped that those 30 kronos back in that trap and presented to Itla. So this is a little bit about the red trap today. We'll be having our final lesson tomorrow, and I'll be telling more in detail about the red trap. I'll be teaching you. You must be having the book in your hand while you are reading so that you can understand the story and the theme better. So, till that, bye everyone.